Joining me right now is a man that ended 2020 on a 3-fight winning streak, a 50K fight of the night bonus. Maybe if they had a bantamweight fighter of the year, this man could be that guy. Casey Kenney, thank you for joining me.
For sure, man. Always a pleasure. 2020 was good, but looks like we're starting 2021 with a bang too.
Definitely, yeah. Before we get into that, man, let's talk about the fight before your last fight, which was Aljamain, right? That fight, man, I felt like you showed another level. Man, you dug into that body, man. When you saw his body during the fight, what were you thinking?
Man, I was just thinking like one of these is gonna put him down, right? I was hearing, like a few of them. I could hear him gasp when I hit him. I could see the damage. Honestly, I thought one of those left hands or one of the check hooks knocked his mouthpiece out, or a head kick. There's a lot of things that I thought was going to work, and he took it all. Props to him.
Definitely. Well, and that led into the Nathaniel Wood fight, which was another phenomenal performance and got you that 50K.
Right.
It must feel good to end the year with 50K and go into Christmas and the holidays and everything with that, right?
Yeah, exactly. And, I've been chasing one of those bonuses. And my last three performances were, semi-bonus worthy. The Smoka submission, the Aljamain one was. I get why I didn't get those, but they were all bonus performances in my book. So I feel like I'm getting my stride, like you were talking about, showing another level. And my first three fights, especially striking wise, it was hard to show that level of striking because those guys just weren't, engaging in that way, especially the way really the last three people have, obviously down to have a full rounded mixed martial art fight. But, just give me a few minutes to get my groove on my feet and, I'm going to hurt you. And like I said, leveling up and, I feel like I leveled up a lot in the last two, really.
Now, when you look back at 2020, one last question about that year. What is one moment that shines the most?
I would say jumping over the cage and asking for another fight, something a little bit different than just, putting on an exciting fight, a little bit of showmanship. And, that's something that I wanted to do. I wanted to get a quick turnaround, and me jumping over there, saying it a little bit louder was, something I had planned, and it all worked out.
Over the weekend, Max Holloway, he put on one of the most dominant 5-round performance of all time, and I'm pretty sure it's in the top 5 list somewhere. What is better for the legacy of a fighter? Is it Holloway's masterclass or Joaquin Buckley's highlight reel ninja movie knockout?
I think they're special in their own way. Like that knockout will go down, in the history books, but right now Joaquin Buckley has to make a name for himself as a fighter. They'll know his knockout, but it'd be like, what'd he do besides that? And then Holloway, his legacy, as a champion and, a performer and, putting on spectacular performances over and over again, that's its own legacy.
Now, a lot of guys, they were chomping at the bit to fight Dominick Cruz. He's a great name, a former champion, a legend of the sport. You got the fight. Did you ask your manager how he got you to put this together? How he put this together? Because it seemed like Dominick Cruz was like not wanting to fight many guys.
Right. Hey, man, I'm not asking too many questions, but I think my performances, my willingness to step up and fight, I was trying to get another one in before the end of the year after Fight Island. And just, being a good company man too, like that, like stepping up, being ready to fight. And, it's something I wanted to do as well. So, doing all that, having a good manager, Jason House with Iridium Sports, one of the best in the game, a combination of everything. And, here we are. Good things will happen, if you keep doing what you're supposed to.
When did you start watching Dominick Cruz as a competitor? Does it go back to the WEC days?
Yeah, I probably saw one or two of his WEC fights, but one I really remember is when they finally crossed over. I think it was 2011 in the summer, and that was like him and Faber fought. I guess it would have been his actual first UFC title defense. I think he was granted the belt on the crossover, but the first time he defended it was against Faber.
Yeah, it was.
I started watching back then, man. I've been watching. First and foremost, I was a fight fan, so I still am. Still watch all the fights. So that's kind of how I got into fighting. Was fight fan first.
Have you ever had any interactions with Cruz in the past?
No, just the normal like fighter meeting. He's commentated a few of my fights, and normally every fight you meet with the commentators for about 15 minutes or so. But other than that, I haven't had too many run-ins, no training sessions or anything like that.
Isn't that kind of weird though? Like an active fighter that commentates the fights, and then now you end up fighting him.
Right. I mean, it makes it exciting. It's exciting for me, I guess every time, he commentates after that too, it'd be cool to see someone that I fought there, shoot, maybe I'll come after that job too.
Are you a fan of his commentary?
They all got their own little style, but, I do remember him saying a few things like in my debut that I was like, I don't know if I quite agree with that. So, but props to you.
Well, you gotta teach him a lesson, I guess.
Yeah, I gotta teach him a lesson or a thing or two about. I gotta watch what he says about my fighting next time.
Yeah. No, a lot of people consider him the greatest bantamweight of all time. Do you agree with that sentiment?
I would say that's a fair statement. He was a champion there for a long time, and he never really lost his belt. Just kind of got injured, and then proved he could come back off those injuries and get his belt back. So I'd put him down as the bantamweight GOAT right now. TJ kind of ruined his legacy in my eyes.
I was gonna just say that too, man. I was thinking like TJ had probably that title, but then of course you saw the situation.
And then I say for bantamweight, there's Cruz, there's Barao. Barao's I'd say him and Barao are my top two for bantamweight. Barao's run was pretty insane too. TJ, he had a good run, but I'm gonna leave him out of that talk.
Does it almost seem like Barao is forgotten?
I mean, people that are true fight fans, they haven't forgot about him. But as far as like an active title contender and all that, it seems he's kind of out of there. I think he's cut from the UFC actually, right?
Yeah, he's fighting for another promotion.
Yeah, so I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, but he's still trying to make it, but kind of out of the picture now.
TJ was the one that dethroned Barao. Does that kind of taint that win?
Yeah, man, I'll take TJ out of it, man. You were cheating the whole time. Get out of here. All right. Get out of here, TJ. If he comes back and does some stuff, even then, like, I don't know. Like, once a cheater, always a cheater.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like a lot of people are happy that he's actually just being considered one of the top fighters already when he's coming back off getting caught by USADA. Are you in the same camp?
Yeah, I'm hating on him a little bit. I get it. I get it. No disrespect to anybody that, that's pissed dirty. But I think he's got to come back and he's got to earn his spot back. I don't think you just jump right in. That would be me personally. He's got to earn it back. That should be on the punishment list.
Well, you earned everything you gotten, so It's right to say that. You're in that position to say that. It's not, me. I have an opinion, but I can't say that. There's nothing I could back that with.
Right. And in a perfect world, I guess everybody gets a second chance. But these stakes are high in this game, and we know that. And you can do everything right and still fail. So when you do things a little bit differently, I think you got to pay for it.
Now, Cruz, he came off a long layoff, faced Cejudo, got finished in the second round. You probably got to rewatch that fight. Did you get a gauge of like what level he's at?
A little bit, it was a quick fight, and he ran into a knee there, so maybe could have saw a little bit more, but I think he's just a little bit slower than before, a little bit behind, step behind, and that's where I'm going to look to capitalize. And I think I'm getting better by the day. I'm getting faster, stronger, bigger by the day, and March 6th is going to be a good one.
Did you see any glimpses of the vintage Cruz in that fight?
He still got his style. He's still the same, similar movement, but just the way he used to do it and the way that I've seen him do it the last few times, it just quite isn't the same. And that's not counting him out completely. Maybe he's making adjustments to his game. He's a smart guy, high fight IQ, so maybe he realized that too, and he's making adjustments. So I'll be ready. I'll be ready to make those adjustments in there.
Was it almost like his brain is vintage Cruz, but his body is just not moving the way his brain wants it to?
Yeah, I guess you could say that. I'm sure he's thinking, he's still thinking the same way in there, but you pretty much nailed it there. Just a little bit slower, not quite as explosive as he used to be, and but we'll see. That's not counting him completely out. He can do many things, differently, and we'll see if that happens.
Your teammate Kyler Phillips, he's also fighting on the same night. Are you working closely with him, parallel in this camp?
Yeah, I'm always training with Kyler and the guys at the lab and guys at Rise, Chris, the whole crew, Nick, strength coach Nick Hulk. But yeah, it's good to be, worked out great last time for Fight Island, so it's good to be back on the same card. It was a good energy all camp and fight week too. So I expect the same thing from Kyler. He's got a big fight in front of him too. So we both got big fights and wouldn't have it any other way.
Yeah, both you guys are fighting ranked guys, which is always good. And he's fighting Song Yadong. You were supposed to fight Song Yadong. That never materialized. Why do you think he backed out of that fight? It
was quick. It was like 3 weeks. It was like 3 weeks out when the time came, but it seemed like they were looking for an opponent for him, so should have been somewhat ready. But either way, I like the way things worked out, and I think I needed a little bit of break. I was ready to go, but a little break was nice over the holidays.
No doubt. Now, who do you get to mimic Dominick Cruz? Is there anybody in your camp that does that?
I got a handful of guys, doing Dominick Cruz stuff. I got all the guys, doing some footwork, doing the best they can. The thing that I'm focusing on is just sharpening all my tools, making everything the best that it can be. And then obviously I've seen the footwork. I have guys trying to do the best they can, but no one can fully mimic Dominick Cruz. So I'll get the best look I can and, kind of go from there. And, my fight IQ, my eyes are good. So I'll be ready to, look for things and capitalize on his mistakes.
Skill for skill, where do you feel like you will dominate no matter what he brings to the table?
I think everywhere, I think skill wise, like Dominick's good at what he does, but like fundamentally his striking, his skills are not that great. Like as far as his punches and kicks, he's got his own little style to it, but as far as his technique goes and all that, it's pretty average, and we'll see what happens. But March 6th, we'll find out.
What is going to happen? That's the thing. That's the thing that we want to hear from you. What is going to happen in that fight?
I think I put him away. I think I'm going to touch him a lot. I've proved that I'm going to touch your chin. If I fight you, I'm going to touch it. I'm going to touch your body. And I think if I don't put him away early and, it's a dog fight, I put him away in the later rounds. He's always been a cardio machine, but I bring another pace, another level of pace, and I'll see him keep up.
Yeah, you've shown that in the last two fights that you do bring an insane pace and just punishing strikes, man. I'm in awe, man, of your last couple of fights, man. Incredible. I just want to congratulate you on those.
Thank you.
Now,
I'm coming to hurt you. I'm coming to hurt you. That's I'm coming after you, and the last couple I've got to do that and really showcase that.
Now, a win over Dom Cruz catapults you up the division, maybe even one fight away from a title shot, if everything works out properly. Do you see that?
Yeah. Wherever they want to put me after this one, I'm down. If I got to go on a legend tour with Aldo or Edgar, or take out some of the young guns, or shoot Rob Font's even in there. But I think Dominick Cruz, one or two more this year, and I got to be right in the talks for a title.
For sure. Now, the big fight a little bit bigger than your fight would be the title fight, right? At 259
Right.
is
Yep.
Petr Yan versus Aljamain Sterling. A lot of people are saying that Sterling has the skill set to take out the champ. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, if I think he's got the submission ability, and normally in a fight like that, that's going to be early. So I think if Yan survives the early onslaught from Sterling, it's going to be a long night for him. I think Sterling can survive on his feet, but I don't think he's going to, dominate or really pick apart Yan that much on the feet. So I think his ability is going to be to submit him on the ground, kind of like he did Sandhagen, which early when you're not sweaty is going to be the time for that. You get a slippery Yan that, he can grapple really well too. So you start getting slippery in there. It's hard to put somebody away with the submission.
Do you think that's the key to beating Yan, is to take him out early? Because it seems like when he fights, he kind of builds the momentum after round after round after round. And when he does get a finish, it's later in the fight.
Right. Yeah, take him out early. I think a fight with Yan and, like myself would be fun. We're going to be in there and
bang it out.
I know we're going to slug it out. That's going to be exciting. We'll see who lands more and, who's tougher mentally and physically. But I think, you could out-grapple Yan. He's been taken down a few times. Like you said, his striking is good, but I think, he's going to take a few shots. Dotson, I think, almost put him away. So we'll see. I think I like that fight with Yan. I'm a scrapper too, but my last fight I got hit a few times, but my defense is still pretty solid. So I like my chances there.
I like it. I like that you have your eyes on the top of the division and your eyes on the champ. It's always good to see that, man. And it's going to be good to see you, man, on March 6th. Step back into that cage, UFC 259 pay-per-view. Did they tell you you're going to be on the pay-per-view or not?
They haven't told me, but from what I've seen, it looks like we're supposed to kick off the pay-per-view.
Oh, yeah.
From what I've seen online and all that. I haven't got an official card yet, but from what I'm seeing, it looks like we're kicking it off. So that's a good one to start the pay-per-view.
Beautiful, man. Thank you so much, Casey, for the time. Good luck on the fight. And, yeah, man, I hope to see you at the top of the division at the end of the year, just slugging it out, maybe with Petr Yan.
Yeah, thanks, man. Always a pleasure, and I'm sure I'll talk to you soon.